Okay, so we made it to our last video about data validation. Sorry, that should have clicked on. Our last video about data validation, and we did create these shortcuts. So I could just click right here and it will take me to that tab. However, if I didn't do that, my other option is to scroll all the way to the right to the last tab. Or I can hit this button here that shows all of our tabs or all of our sheets. So this one's super handy when you have a really big file. So here we are in training menu. I know I'm there. That's where the check mark is. So when I scroll all the way down, I can jump to data validation. So let's talk about the importance of data validation. Why would we do it? And when you first are kind of in sheets, or maybe you need to fill out a sheet, and it has data validation, it can be a little frustrating because if you said, a date, or like a date of birth or something, and you put it in the wrong way, the way they don't want it, it's going to get kicked back to you. Sometimes it's nice and will tell you how they want it put in that cell. But sometimes it's just shoot, you got to just keep trying. So data validation, although, when you're first messing with it, it might be frustrating, but it is so important for the accuracy and the consistency of your data. So let's just talk for a second. If I have students and I'm questioning whether or not they paid for prom ticket, if someone wrote in yeah or yup or just Y for yes instead of the word yes, your data is going to get really, really messy. So by enforcing rules and constraints and restricting data types, you're ensuring that a field only accepts the characters and dates and things that you want. It also can be a range. So if you're saying like, hey, an age limit, like if this was, what year of graduation are you? If you're an 8th grader, like, boop, that's not allowed. You can enforce formats like we were talking about, like with your date of birth or a phone number to be specific or an email address. That way, when you go to manipulate that data, you don't have to fix it. It's in there the right way. So what we're going to do in this situation is we're going to use drop-down lists. So we're going to predefine what the options are. So let's go ahead and select the cells. And we go to data validation, and we're going to add some rules here. So in this one, we're going to use a drop down, right? Again, you can say if it matches something completely, if the date is on or before, if things are greater than or less than. We have done check boxes before, but we want a drop down here, and I can even color code my drop down. So let's say paid for prom. We'll give that maybe a nice green. Not paid, maybe a little pink. It's a bit of a warning. You can add another one. Let's say this person, for some reason, is excused. Now that I do that, there are advanced options. So I'm just going to hit done. So, and I can kind of close that out now. All right, so when I'm filling out, and again, this could be a huge list, but when I'm filling it out, I can say, okay, this kid paid, not paid. This child is excused. So you can see that this is really nice and easy to view. So over here, I can have them count. And this is probably important because this criteria will be changing as we get closer to prom. So let's write some labels and then do a count if. If we're going to count how many are paid for prom, let's select this cell here to tell us. Okay, so we're going to do a count if, and it's going to ask for our range. It's going to ask for our criterion. Quotation marks, close the quotation marks, close. Now we can do it for not paid. So complete your count ifs for all of your criterion. And then over here in real time, when I change this from not paid to paid, you can see that this updates automatically. So it definitely can save some time.